Queen Elizabeth II has been driving almost her entire life and reportedly loves getting behind the wheel.
The monarch even trained as a driver and mechanic during the Second World War. And ever since Prince Philip's traffic accident 3 weeks ago, the question on why the Queen does not need a driving license has come up. So why does she not need it? Queen Elizabeth II news: why does the Queen always carry a handbag? Prince Philip, 97, enjoys a solo drive around Balmoral. According to British law, the Queen does not need a driving license because driving licenses are issued in her name. As part of discretionary powers or rights that only the sovereign enjoys, she is excluded from the regulations on laws governing the road.
The Queen has never had to do a driving test and is the only person in Britain allowed to sit behind the wheel with a driving license.
The 92-year-old has been driving since she was 19. The then Princess Elizabeth learned to drive a car at a training center in 1945 while working in the Wartime Auxiliary Territorial Service.
The Queen's passion for driving has been well documented over the years, with photos capturing her behind the wheel.
Protocol dictates she is normally chauffeured, but Queen Elizabeth is said to be determined to drive herself around when possible.
However, while it would be unlikely to see Her Majesty cruising around the streets of London, she is said to often be behind the wheel when out of public view.
Not needing a license to drive is just one of the Queen's privileges. Along with no driving license, the British monarch does not need a passport to travel abroad.
This is also because Queen Elizabeth is the one to issue them. Why does the Queen always wear brightly colored neon outfits? Queen Elizabeth II news: why does the Queen always wear gloves? The first page of all British passports read, Her Britannic Majesty's Secretary of State requests and requires in the name of Her Majesty all those whom it may concern to allow the bearer to pass freely without let or hindrance and to afford the bearer such assistance and protection as may be necessary.
Queen Elizabeth has visited more than 100 countries during her reign, but she has not needed to provide any proof of identity once.
This is a privilege for the reigning monarch only. Royals including Prince Charles and the Duke of Edinburgh have to hold a passport. The Queen is the only one exempt from the rules.
Other powers the Queen is entitled to include being exempt from FOI, freedom of information, requests, being able to fire the whole Australian government, and having her own private cash machine and her own personal poet. In addition, she is signing laws, creating lords and forming governments. She also owns all of the swans in the River Thames, along with any dolphins in British waters. And if that was not enough, Her Majesty gets to celebrate her birthday twice a year.